Hey, how is it going? Lee Hayward here with another live video chat on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel. And I'm looking forward to doing this one today. I haven't done a video chat in...
This is you, Dad. This is you.
Come here, Harvey. Harvey, we're going... Okay, he's gone again. I haven't done a video chat in like a couple weeks now, and the reason for that, not that I have been neglecting people, but I've been running a Lose Your Gut Challenge. Hey, there's my little buddy. We've been running a Lose Your Gut Challenge over on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Facebook page, and this has been a huge success. I mean, it's something that I've done several times before. This was actually my fourth time running the Lose Your Gut Challenge, and this time around it was bigger than ever. We had over 200 people register, and if you've been a part of the challenge and you know what I'm talking about, it's a lot of work on my half. So that's why, yeah. See, there's you and me. All right, do you want to go play and then I'll play with you after? Okay, here, I'll let you down. I'll come play with you after. All right. But yeah, it's a lot of work on my end running that whole Lose Your Gut Challenge, and that's why I was just kind of like literally compressed for time. So that's why I wasn't consistent with these live video streams. Because normally I like to do these every Friday afternoon on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel. But I know for the past couple weeks I haven't done it, and some people were wondering like, hey, have you quit? Have you stopped entirely? No, it's just that I was prioritizing my time with that challenge. And the way it works, if you're not familiar with the Lose Your Gut Challenge, it's a 5-day intensive online training where we really go deep into the fundamentals of nutrition, the fundamentals of the mindset and the habits and the lifestyle choices that you need to make in order to achieve a lasting fitness and fat loss transformation. And then afterwards, we have a graduation workshop where we really take all the stuff and put it together. And then what I do is I have coaching calls with the guys who go through the challenge. So if anybody would like some more help with taking what we learned throughout the challenge, then I offer one-on-one strategy session coaching calls where we go deep into everyone's situation. Like we find out what's their challenges, their struggles, what they're trying to work on, and we map out an action plan. And then out of those group of people, we've got a team of people now who've come on board with our advanced coaching program, and they're going to be my before and after transformation success stories for 2021. That's the goal. So basically, we took like over 200 people through the group. Not everybody made it to the end. Like only 145 actually made it to the end of the challenge, because the way the challenge works is if you don't participate, you get booted out of the challenge. So most of the people were active and participated. And then at the end of it, now we have an advanced group who are going to really, I'm going to be working with them personally, right? A small group of guys. We got 10 people in the advanced program now, and those are the people that I'm going to be working with personally, following along the program, helping them with their customized training, nutrition, meal plans, and all that. And those are people that I'm going to help to create before and after transformations. They're going to be my new success students for 2021, and I'm super excited to be working with these people. So if you're on board, hey, I'm glad to have you on board, and again, it's going to be a fun ride for sure. So the way this video chat works, if you're brand new, let me know. Type into the chat window comments down there, say that, hey, I'm new. Just put the letter N if you're new, the letter N for newbie. If you're a regular and you've been tuning into this for weeks, months, or even years, type in the letter R. Say you're a regular to these video chats. So that'll kind of give me a feedback of if you know the rigmarole or not, right? Let me know if you're a regular or if you're brand new. And if you're new, I want to welcome you, and I want to explain how these chats work. I'm going to be hanging out here for the next, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour if I don't shut up. I don't know. It depends on how chatty I get and how fluent the questions go. I really don't have a timeline, but I'm going to be hanging out here for the next little while, answering your questions, and basically we're going to be discussing some tips and tricks and strategies on how you can build muscle, lose the gut, and get yourself back in shape again. All right, you probably hear the noise stuff. I'm down in my home gym here, and right off the side of my home gym, there's the laundry room, and my wife had the laundry on, so it was just finishing the cycle of the laundry, and it's finally finished. So if you were hearing some noise in the background, that's what it was. The laundry's done. Now we can have some peace and quiet. And so who do we got? We got a lot of people tuning in. Let's see. Oh wow, a lot of people tuning in. We have Zach joining us. We have that guy. Literally, that's his username. That guy. We have Jesse. We have Lee. We have Dario. We have Jeff is joining in. We've got Jesse is joining in. Questions. Okay, guys, the way it works, if you have any questions, topics of discussion, anything that's on your mind now with regards to fitness, nutrition, all that good stuff, let me know in the chat window. Type in your questions and topics of discussion. And you know what? There's no such thing as a stupid question. If it's on your mind, go ahead and post it. Well, let me back up. There is such a thing as a stupid question. But if it's something that you're concerned about and it's a legitimate fitness and nutrition question, post it in the comments below. If it's generally a stupid question, like I do get people post stupid questions here. This is YouTube, right? There's people post stupid questions. But if it's fitness and nutrition related, and it's a genuine question that you have, feel free to post it, and I'll do the best I can to answer it. And if I can't answer it, then I'll try and point you in the right direction and recommend some outside resources to people who can help you. Like, that's one of the things here. Like, I don't claim to be an expert or a guru or a know-it-all. I mean, yes, I've been doing this for 30 years, so I kind of picked up a few things along the way, right? You kind of figure some stuff out after 30 years. But I don't claim to know it all. So if I can't help you, then I'll try and recommend you to some people who can. And the cool thing about it, being involved with the whole fitness industry for 30 years, I got a fairly big network of people that I can rely on. You know, people who are specialists in certain areas. So if you do have some challenges or whatever, post them. Let me know, right? Questions, topics of discussion, whatever. And let's have ourselves a chat here today. We still there? I think I lost my connection there. Test. I hope I'm still live. If it's still coming through live and you can hear me, you can see me, all that. Okay, I think everything's still there. Good. I don't know what happened there. Like my phone just froze and okay, loud and clear. Good stuff. Thanks. All right, let's jump into it. We got Zach joining us. We've got that guy. We've got Jesse, like I mentioned before. Let's see if there was a question come through. Dario saying, long time no see. If you happen to be taking questions, is there a limit to how much protein the body can absorb from a single meal? I prefer to have 3 bigger meals instead of 5 to 6 small ones. That's fine. And that's a great question. When it comes to protein consumption, is there a limit? I mean, yes, of course there is going to be a limit, but it's not like a set in stone limit because it's going to vary depending on your metabolism, your size, and a whole bunch of variables. Like a 200-pound bodybuilder or even bigger, says even a 250-pound bodybuilder, obviously is going to be able to utilize and digest more protein than a 120-pound woman, right? Like the bigger you are, the more muscle mass you have, the faster your metabolism, the more calories that you need, the more protein you can digest, utilize, and absorb. So it's not like a set rule. Like there was a book out several years back. I think it was called Sliced, and I actually have a copy of it. Now, it was probably in other books as well, but there was like this general rule that was going around for several years back in the day saying, oh, the body can only process like 30 grams of protein per meal. So anything over 30 grams is a waste. And that was a rule that they put out there for everybody. So, I mean, are you telling me, again, like that, just take like a strongman competitor, let's say like Brian Shaw, right? Someone who's like 400 pounds, you know, a lot of muscle on his frame, like a guy who trains like a beast. You got a 400-pound strongman, and then let's say you got a 120-pound, you know, Joe soccer mom, 120-pound soccer mom, and you got Brian Shaw, 400-pound strongman. Do you think they're both going to be able to digest and utilize 30 grams of protein, and that's their limit? Of course not. Like, what that woman would eat in the course of a day, Brian Shaw would eat in a meal. Like there's no, it's not a set in stone number. It depends on you, how many calories you need for your body type and for your activity level. So it's all in it's all in proportion. But what you can do is you can space that out over the course of 3 meals. Like if you don't want to have 6 meals a day, that's fine. I don't eat 6 meals a day. I eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack before bed. So I eat 4 times a day. 3 of those are, my major meals, right? Like I have a substantial breakfast, have a substantial lunch, and a substantial dinner. And then before I go to bed, I got to have something to eat because I don't like going to bed hungry. I can't sleep if my belly's hungry and growling and empty, I don't get a good night's sleep. Like I have to have some food in there to settle me down, and I find that it also helps to relax me and just give me a good night's sleep. So I have breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack before bed. That's my typical routine. Now, some days I may eat more than that. Like if I'm going off on a big bike ride adventure, then I'm going to pack some snacks with me, so I'll have more food throughout the day and things like that. But on a normal day, 3 meals plus a snack before bed. And I space out my protein intake with those meals. Every meal I'm having a serving of protein, I'm having a serving of veggies, and that's the foundation. And then, like I say, I'll fill up on some carbohydrates and stuff after those protein and veggie requirements are met. But yeah, you can definitely space out your meals. You don't need to eat 6 meals a day. There's nothing wrong with it if you want to do that. I mean, but but there's no advantage to it either. It's the long-term average. I mean, what you're looking at here is the long-term average in terms of like, how are you doing over the course of the week, over the course of the month, over the course of a year? Like it's not just meal by meal, right? A lot of people have this, oh, if I don't eat every 2 hours, then I'm going to shrivel up and die or whatever, or go catabolic and lose all my gains. No, the body's not that fragile, right? You can go several hours without eating and still survive, right? We wouldn't have survived this long on planet Earth if we couldn't go for a few hours without eating, right? Anyway, let's see what else we got there. We have Zach's joining in. We have, who else is joining in? Lots of regulars. Do we have any newbies? If you're a newbie, let me know. Type the letter N and post a question. I'm going to give priority to any newbies here who has a question today. Zach is saying, I feel really fatigued in my workouts, feeling like I'm not enjoying my workouts, can't focus in the gym. Is it okay to take a week off? What I would recommend you do, Zach, is change it up. If like, there's a couple things that could be going on. I mean, yeah, you may be overtrained, and it could be overtrained because you're physically doing a lot of work in the gym and your body just can't recover from it. Or it could be stuff going on outside. You know, and what I mean by outside is outside the gym. Like it could be stress at work, it could be stress in your family life, it could be a whole bunch of things. Another thing you got to factor in too as well, like if you live in the northern hemisphere and the days are getting shorter and you went through the whole time change and everything else, I mean, it gets dark a lot earlier, so you're not getting that natural sunlight. I mean, that kind of makes you feel down in the dumps. I mean, it does for me. I feel that seasonal change. Like in the summer when it's lots of sun and the days are long, I mean, I'm feeling on top of the world. And then when the wintertime comes and the days are short, like it does, I don't feel as energetic or motivated or whatever. So that's one thing, like I'm making an effort now to make sure that I'm getting outside and getting some natural sunlight while there is sunshine in the air. And actually, I'll share what I got something really cool to help me with those winter, not only exercise, but it's also going to help me to get outside and get some sunshine in the wintertime. I'll just show it over here. Look at that. Just bought it today. Brand new fatty. Big old fat bike. 4.8-inch tires. Even got an extra set of studded tires to go along with it. Not going to put the studded tires on yet because we don't have snow and ice on the ground. But that's going to be my snowmobile when the snow hits. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's what's going to get me outside and getting some sunshine and fresh air and cardio and all that when the snow hits. And I can't wait. I've never had a fat bike before, right? I've had mountain bike, gravel bike, but now this is the new adventure, fat bike. So that's my, that's going to give me cardio, exercise, and it's going to get me some sunshine because I'm going to get out there in the midday, you know, absorb as much sunshine as you can, even though you're bundled up and close. So you're not really getting sunshine directly on your skin, but at least you're getting the fresh air and the sun exposure to some degree. And hopefully that'll help to elevate the mood because I do feel less energetic in the wintertime. So if you're starting to feel that now, you're not alone, right? That could be part of the problem. But to get to your question, should you take a week off? I wouldn't recommend taking a week off, but change it up. So like if you want to do an easier workout for a week, then do that. If you want to do some other forms of exercise for a week, then do that. But don't just stop exercising. Like I'm a big fan of daily exercise. And I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to be in the gym, busting your ass with weight training 6 days or 7 days a week, right? It doesn't mean that, but I mean, moving your body. Like daily exercise could be taking your dog for a walk. It could be getting out on a bicycle ride, just like I just showed you there. It could be going to the gym and working out. It could be doing a yoga class or follow along yoga video on YouTube. But like do something. Get your ass off the couch and move every day. That's one of my non-negotiable habits. I must move every day. And that's what I would recommend. So I don't advocate taking a week off, like where you're just going to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix and YouTube videos and gorge on veggie chips. Like, no, don't do that. Like, still keep active, but just change it up and probably do something that's less strenuous. So your central nervous system can still recover, but you're still getting the benefits of daily exercise. So again, that could be easier workouts at the gym. Like maybe you're doing a body part split routine and you're training to failure and you're really pushing it. Hey, maybe you just do a simple total body workout and stop each set short of failure, right? Let your body just go through the motions and enjoy the workouts without stressing yourself out. Or maybe even if your gym offers fitness classes, hey, try some fitness classes, be it a spin class or even one of these little aerobic pump and tone classes. I know they sound cheesy and a lot of guys think they're too sissy, but I can tell you some of those classes or these boot camp classes are pretty challenging, right? So I mean, hey, you might want to take up something like that for something unique, but don't stop exercising. I don't recommend that. Keep that habit in there, but change it up and do something that you enjoy, right? I mean, if there's so many forms of exercise, it doesn't always have to be, going in the gym and busting your ass, doing a bro split, training to failure every set. What else we got there? Yeah, so somebody mentioned the deload. Yes, that's usually that's what a deload is. Like all deload means is it means you're training with less intensity. So you're still exercising, but you're not killing yourself, right? That's deload in a nutshell. Deload 101. Just don't kill yourself. Like still exercise, but allow your body to rest and recover. Active recovery, another word we can use. We have Eagle Eye John joining us, and he says, I work 15 to 16 sets, large muscle groups. Is that okay for hypertrophy? I work twice a week, muscle groups. Hope you're well. He's in the UK, over in London. And you're going through another lockdown over in the UK, because I know I've chatted to several folks over in the UK, and they're going through that whole lockdown BS again, and I feel sorry for you. I really do. Hopefully it doesn't last too long this time around, and you get back to normal and get back to normal and do so safely. I mean, obviously safety is more important than having an active social life, but still, I know it's frustrating. I feel very fortunate where we live because we're in a pretty rural area, small, remote, and like the cases of COVID is a joke compared to what a lot of people are going through. But anyway, as for your question, 15 to 16 sets per large muscle group, I mean, that's pretty high volume. And I can't answer your question because I don't know your situation, your work capacity, your fitness level, and all that stuff. Like it really depends on the individual. So like if somebody's just starting the gym and they say, hey, I'm going to do 15 sets of body part, I'm saying, whoa, that's too much. Like 15 sets of workout would be plenty, right? Let alone 15 sets of body part. So it really depends on your individual fitness level and work capacity, right? It's not like a cut and dry cookie cutter answer that fits everybody. I personally don't do that high volume. My go-to routine that I usually follow these days is I do total body workouts 3 days a week. And then on my off days, I'm doing some sort of cardio. Usually getting out for a bike ride, weather permitting. But if not, then I'll be doing cardio indoors. I've got an elliptical machine in my living room. I've got, the gym is just up the road, like 5-minute drive. So I'll sometimes go to the gym and do cardio there. But that's what I do. Weight training one day, cardio the next, weight training one day, cardio the next, keep myself active every day. And as far as the workouts, I do total body workouts. And the reason I like it is because one, it doesn't cause me to get excessively sore. Like if I did 15 sets per body part, I would be painfully sore the next day. Like if I did 15 sets of chest, next day my chest is going to be hurting. If I did 15 sets of legs, next day my legs are going to be killing me. But if I break it up and I just do a few sets of chest, a few sets of legs, a few sets of back, a few sets of shoulders, blah, 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 I don't get that painful soreness the next day. I actually feel invigorated and refreshed and rejuvenated, and I'm able to do stuff without my body nagging with aches and pains the next day. So I'm a big fan of shorter, more frequent sessions versus the, go in there and blitz a body part and destroy it with 15 plus sets, right? Not saying it doesn't work. I mean, anything that you do consistently can work, right? Like anything is better than nothing. You can make it work, but is it optimal? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It really depends on the individual and your situation. So if you want some help with this, like, because I know I'm rambling on here because again, I can't give you a specific answer because I don't know you and your situation. But if you would like some help with it, send me an email, leeh@leehayward.com. That's LEE, letter H, @leehayward.com. And, we can chat more about it through email. Like you can tell me more about your situation and what it is that you're working towards. And if you need some help with it, then I can try and recommend some strategies and tips and suggestions to help you. But for now, I'm just going to move on and kind of try and answer some more questions that are coming through. Is low carb diet good like PSMF? PSMF. That's a new acronym for me. I'll have to go on the Google machine when I'm finished this chat and see what the new PSMF diet is. Like, but is low carb a good diet? I'm not a fan of low carb. I'm really not. I've tried it, and when I go low carb, I usually feel low energy. I usually have brain fog. I usually feel moody and irritable. I like a well-balanced diet. It sounds so simple, but it took me a long time to figure it out. It really did. But I like to have approximately a third of my calories from protein, a third of my calories from carbohydrates, and a third of my calories from fat. And when I have this nice, well-balanced diet based around natural, unprocessed foods, I find I feel better, I have more energy, I function well, I recover well, I think clear. I'm not going through mood swings or crazy appetite or anything like that. Because like when you go super low carb, like it can throw off because you have low blood sugar, and then next thing you know, sometimes it throws your appetite off, and you're extra hungry, or you're moody, or you're irritable. If you go really low fat, it's sometimes hard to get eating satiation from your foods. If you go really low protein, like you go the whole vegan route, like then there's a whole slew of drawbacks from that as well. Like as simple as it is, well balanced. Like your mother told you this back in the day, eat a well balanced diet. Da 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 da. I mean, as simple as it is, a well balanced diet is the way to go. Right? Don't overcomplicate it. And in fact, I've made a blog post. I think it's called "What's the Best Fat Loss Diet" or something like that. But if you go to my blog, leehayward.com, or even just go to Google and search Lee Hayward, "What's the Best Fat Loss Diet?" If you do that, you should see that blog post. And I go into detail, like sharing how I came to that realization, because I know it sounds so ABC when I say it now, but I went through years of trial and error before I finally came up with, hey, let's eat a well-balanced diet. Like I tried going high protein, high carb, low fat. Then I tried going, high protein, high fat, low carb. Then I even tried going vegan with, high carbohydrate, low protein for a while. And you know what? Like there was drawbacks to all those diets. But then when I went to a well-balanced diet, equal ratios of protein, carbs, and fat in natural, unprocessed foods, not cutting out food groups, it's like, wow, like holy shit, I actually feel good. I actually have energy. I'm recovering. I don't have mood swings. Like it works. It really does. So well-balanced diet, right? Can't beat it. Is it safe to take creatine indefinitely? This one's from Dario. Some people claim it can cause kidney damage in the long term. Any reliable sources? I take creatine, I guess you could say, indefinitely. I've been using it since 1995 when creatine first came on the market. And I've been using it consistently ever since. And creatine has a lot of health benefits. Like, I know everyone's kind of focusing on, like, oh, the drawbacks. Oh, this is bad and that's bad and this is no. Like, if you're a healthy individual and your body can metabolize and process and utilize stuff normally, then creatine is very healthy. And there's a lot of health benefits to it. Not just muscle building and fitness benefits, but mental and cognitive benefits. Like creatine's been shown to help people with mental degenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and things like that. Like creatine is a very healthy supplement, and I use it daily. I mean, I just take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate per day. I take it with my vitamins. And just like I take a multivitamin every day, I take my creatine every day. And I've been doing it for years, right? So yes, you can take creatine long term. And as far as like, is it going to cause kidney issues? That depends if you're genetically predisposed to kidney problems. Like some people are. I'm not going to mention names now, but I have a family member who had kidney issues and had to get a kidney transplant. Like that is a genetic flaw. I mean, that's only one person that I know personally, as a relative of mine, had to have a kidney transplant. And in her case, she can't digest protein. Like she can't eat a very high protein diet. She has to be very selective of the foods she eats because of this issue. But most people are not like that, right? If you are healthy and your body is working fine and you don't have any pre-existing, genetic flaws and issues to deal with, then you can consume adequate protein, creatine, all this kind of stuff with no problems. So, I mean, it's something you can take long term. But what I would recommend, I mean, get regular checkups from your doctor. Something you should be doing anyway. But like people, this is one thing I get a kick out of. Like some people will say, well, can I use creatine long term? But nobody questions, hey, can I drink alcohol long term? Right? Can I eat junk food long term? Right? Like, people will do that long term and not even question that. But oh, that creatine stuff, I don't know if I should take that long term, right? That might hurt you. But meantime, they, Friday night, Saturday night rolls around. Hey, it's cheat night. Let's break out the pizza and beer, right? Let's get the potato chips, whatever. And I mean, that's okay because that's socially acceptable. But this creatine stuff, I don't know. That's not really socially acceptable, right? Maybe that's going to cause problems. Anyway, moving on. We have Hoagie Boots joining in. He says, thank you for saying that. I find 5-6 meals a day a logistical nightmare. Logistical nightmare. Okay, yeah, I'm not a big fan of 5 to 6 meals because it just makes you a slave to food. Like, I did that back in the day, like going around with my Tupperware tubs everywhere I went and all this crap. Like, I don't want to be that. Like, it just looks, it's just stupid and it's an inconvenience. Like, having to cart around your Tupperware containers and eating your chicken and rice out of Tupperware because, oh, I got to eat every 2 hours, and gosh darn it, if I don't eat 2 hours and I'm going catabolic, look out. No, man, 3 meals a day, right? Like, it works. What else we got there? Last Macho, I think it is. I like your channel. I've been watching you on YouTube for 5 years. Hey, awesome. Appreciate the support. David says, I love the videos as always. Looking damn good. Hope you and the family are well. Thank you. Oh, looking good. I got a haircut the other day. Yeah, it must be looking good. Thank you. Appreciate the comment. Who's Sam Zane saying, can I do a cutting diet during the winter? Is it possible? Some people say everyone bulks in the winter and you can't cut. You can bulk. Well, to answer your question, can you bulk or cut or what? Look, your body can do it in the wintertime. Yes, you can lose fat in the winter and you can gain fat in the summer, or you can vice versa, or you can gain fat in the winter and you can lose fat in the summer. Like, it depends on you and what you want to do, right? Like, you can do it year round, right? It doesn't matter. But I'm not a fan of bulking and cutting. I would rather you focus on, how about you optimize your training, optimize your nutrition, and optimize all your lifestyle habits so that you're actually building lean muscle while burning body fat simultaneously, and you're improving your body composition. This is what I do personally. This is what I focus on helping my coaching students do. Like, I don't have anybody bulk and cut anymore. I think it's such an outdated, stupid way of going about it. Because what happens is when people bulk, yes, you gain weight. You know, the scale's going to go up. You're going to fill out your t-shirt and you're going to feel bigger and you're going to look fuller, and your strength is going to go up as well. Because if you just have more weight on, even if it's extra body fat weight, you're going to be stronger, right? That extra mass is going to help you to lift heavier. But when it comes time that you want to actually trim off that body fat, in the process of losing that fat, you're probably going to lose whatever muscle you gained along with it. And I'm guilty of this. I went through years of like yo-yo dieting, bulking, cutting, thinking that I was getting bigger. You can probably hear my son out there. I think he's got a flute that he's playing. But I went through years of bulking, cutting, and all that, and it didn't help. Like, I have made better progress by staying lean and just making lean gains. Like, so instead of this big spikes up and down, let's just keep your body weight stable and focus on improving your body composition, right? Better food choices, better lifestyle choices, just regular cardio, just living a healthy, active lifestyle, and allow your body composition to improve from that. Don't try and force the weight on by overeating and then trying to force the fat off by undereating and going through all these extreme yo-yo diets, ups and downs. Like, it's such an emotional roller coaster and it's not healthy. But it's better to just if you want to gain lean muscle, keep your calories close to maintenance, but focus on good quality calories, and then optimize your metabolism through good quality training, regular cardio, healthy lifestyle choices, and let your body build muscle while burning fat simultaneously. And you can do it, right? I've seen it happen to a lot of guys, right? This is what we focus on with my Muscle After 40 Blueprint coaching program. Like, we help guys to improve their body composition and enjoy the process. Like, bulking and cutting is not enjoyable. I'm going to tell you right off the bat. Like, if you eat more than you want and you force feed yourself, that's not fun. If you eat less than you want and you starve yourself, that's not fun. But if you eat at maintenance and you eat good quality, high nutrient dense food, that is fun. That is enjoyable. You can sustain that without going through the ups and downs or feeling like crap. Like, if you've never done it before, it's no fun to force feed yourself. It's probably just as painful to force feed yourself as it is to starve yourself. It really is. So that's why I'm not a fan of this whole bulking, cutting BS, right? Keep your calories close to maintenance and focus on optimizing your body composition. Body recomposition is the way it goes. I've heard some people call it main gaining. I mean, you can refer whatever you want to call it, but bottom line, it's building muscle, losing body fat at the same time, and it can be done. What else we got there? Pogie Boots is saying, I love fat biking. That would be awesome in Newfoundland. Tons of places to explore. Cool. I've never fat biked before, right? I've mountain biked. This year I've gotten into gravel biking and I love that. I love gravel biking. That's having so much fun with that this year. That's been like my new exercise passion. And this year I've got 59 KOMs on Strava gravel biking on my gravel bike this year. 59 of them. And most of like in my local town and area, like on the rail bed from where is it from Topsail all the way to Upper Gullies. If anybody's from Newfoundland, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, then whatever. It's just this. It's a railway trail. It's just a big long gravel trail, and there's multiple stages and segments along that. And I've got every KOM along that segment for miles, except one. There's one that I'm working on. And what I'm doing is I'm waiting for the wind to get in the right direction, because lately we've been having this westerly wind, and that segment goes heads into the west. So like, there's no way I'm getting a KOM heading into a headwind, right? I got to have either no wind or a tailwind. Ideally, a tailwind to be better, right? But I got one that I'm working on, right? But other than that, this particular segment of rail trail, the T railway trail, I've got every KOM on it except one, and gosh darn it, I want to get it before the winter comes. So, but yeah, I love biking. I love it, and that's why I got the fat bike, because I want to keep that going all winter long. What else we got there? Orion. Let me try to pronounce that. Orion Orion Samuel. I think it's Orion. Never. If I'm butchering your name, I apologize, but I'll do the best I can with your question. He says, Lee, I want to give you some love. You're the first person I watched on YouTube workout a couple years ago. I've been consistent now, in amazing shape. Much love, motivating people. Well, thank you. I appreciate the comment. And hey, that's pretty cool. I'm the first person you found on YouTube, because there's a lot of people on YouTube. Right? I know I've been around since the start, but like I say, there's a lot. So hey, I appreciate that. Hopefully it was a good first impression, right? Obviously it must have been. You're still here watching now today. Much respect. I appreciate the comments and the feedback. Jesse is asking, is there more benefits to doing a trap bar deadlift versus a traditional conventional deadlift? It's personal preference. There's advantages to both. A trap bar is going to allow you to maintain a more upright posture, so it's going to be less strain on the lower back. It's going to be a little bit more emphasis on the legs, because your body, your torso is more upright, because the bar and the weight is centered in line with your body. Like your arms are right at the sides, and the weight keeps your body more upright. So anyone who has lower back issues, trap bar is great for that. If you want to just focus more on the legs and like hips, legs, because it's almost like a squat. It's almost, that's kind of the movement you're going through with the trap bar deadlift. It's more like a squat than a deadlift in that sense. So yeah, you can definitely use it, but it's not like one is better or worse or whatever. It's just they have advantages to both. The regular deadlift, the conventional one, the weight is in front of you, so now you have to pull back more, and that's going to engage more of the spinal rectors, because you have to work that more. But both are great variations. Like we have a trap bar at the gym that I train at, and sometimes I'll do conventional, sometimes I'll do trap bar, and again, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They're just different deadlift variations, but they have their advantages. So the way I look at it, if you have lower back issues and you find regular deadlifts bother your lower back, then obviously go with the trap bar. If you don't have any lower back issues and you just want to kind of change it up, then you can cycle it. You can go through a phase of training with the conventional deadlift. You can go through a phase of training with the trap bar deadlift, and just compare the two. You may notice some differences in strength. Like you may be stronger with the trap bar, or you may be stronger with the conventional, right? Who knows? It depends. And another thing you got to consider with the trap bar too is the way the bar is set up. Like there's probably different handles. Like I know at the trap bar that we have up at Platinum Health and Fitness, the gym that I train at, there's a handle on it that actually can make it higher. So if it's higher, meaning that you don't have to bend down as far to get the weight, then it's going to be easier, because you don't have to bend down as far, you don't have to pull it up as far. Whereas if it's there's another handle, you can like flip the bar over, and then the handles make it lower. If you use that one, then you have to pull the bar further, and it makes the exercise harder. So again, don't think, well, if I can deadlift 315 with the conventional, then I'll be able to deadlift 315 with the trap bar, or vice versa. Again, I'm just using that as an example. But the strength may vary, and that's totally normal, right? It's 2 totally different exercises. You're going to have 2 totally different strength levels. Where else we do? Frederick saying is 12 to 15 sets high volume. I think I already covered that one. That's probably a duplicate question. He says, who long have you been working out for? I think he meant to say, how long have you been working out for? God love spell check on the old phone there, right? I've been training since, like, officially around 1990, but I've been dabbling with weights back in the late 80s. Like, my father had the old York cement-filled barbell and dumbbell set that I used to screw around with, when I was in the late 80s. But officially, we got a proper home gym. It was, well, I say it's proper, but at the time it felt proper. If I look back at it now, I mean, it's it's kind of clunky, but it was a York 2001 home gym machine. Had the leg extension and the lat pull down, and a bunch of different exercises. It was a weight stacking cable pulley machine, and I got that for my Christmas gift in 1990, and that's when I officially started working out. Because once I got that home gym, then I actually started following a workout schedule, right? Whereas before then, it was just kind of screwing around lifting weights. Like, there was no schedule. But I officially started to have a schedule where I followed the York wall charts that came with my home gym. Like, I had the 3 day per week total body workout, and my dad and I, we started working out together down in the basement. I was 12 years old, and he was my training partner, and I'm really, really thankful for that, because he helped to teach me and guide me and get me started. And we used to work out together as training partners, right, in our basement home gym, right? It's using the York 2001 home gym machine. So that's how it started. But so anyway, 30 years, right? Bottom line. Okay, what else we got there? Pogie Boots is saying, I got a landmine for my home gym. Do you have any good exercises you recommend for it? Landmines are pretty cool. You can do some cool stuff with it. Rows, obviously, like different T-bar row variations using the landmine. But you can also do, shoulder presses with the landmine. And that's a pretty cool variation, because you can do the single arm shoulder press. What are some other ones? Like, you can do single arm rows with the landmine. Some people like to do different rotational twists, like stand in front of the landmine and do different rotational movements with it. Bottom line, just get on YouTube and start searching like landmine exercises, because there's a lot of them. Now, granted, some of them are probably a bit weird and wacky, but the rows and the presses, those are two solid ones. Another one that you probably really like as well is a landmine squat, especially if you have a hip belt. For hip belt squats, you can set that up and do squats using the landmine. And this is great, especially if you don't like squatting with a barbell on your back, or if you want to go through a phase where you just give your back a break from squatting with a barbell on your back. Get a hip belt, and you can attach it to the landmine, and you literally straddle the barbell and load it up with weight plates, and you can do your squats there. I actually have a video showing hip belt squats using the landmine. So if you do a YouTube search for Lee Hayward hip belt squats, you'll find that one. I also, in my single limb workout playlist, where I did a whole workout series covering single limb exercises, we cover some landmine exercises in there, especially like the single arm shoulder press using the landmine. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a great tool to have. And the cool thing about the landmine is it doesn't take up a lot of space. So you have all those different exercise variations available in your home gym, and very, very little space taken up. So yeah, good for you. It's a solid investment for sure. I mean, it gives you so much more variety with minimal equipment. What else have we got there? Let's see. Eagle Eye John says, hi Lee, for chest twice a week I do bar dips 4 sets, then incline dumbbell press 4 sets. That's what I meant for chest twice a week. Sorry. Well, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with those exercises. I mean, dips and dumbbell presses, I mean, it's a great chest workout. And that's not excessive volume. I mean, you're doing two exercises for chest. I mean, if it's working for you, keep doing it, right? But what I meant by the volume there is like, I prefer to do smaller, more frequent workouts than the big, I'm not a fan of it's Monday is chest day, and Tuesday is back day, and Wednesday is leg day, and Thursday is arm day, and Friday is shoulder day, and like all these days, like I like to do combine multiple body parts into a workout. So I mean, sometimes it's push pull legs, sometimes it's upper lower, So most of the time, it's actually a total body, but I will change it up. It's not like I do the exact same total body workout every time. Like I will change up different exercise variations within those total body workouts, but that's what I like to do now. And if you want to see a sample of like how I train, check out one of the latest workout playlists I posted. This is the one, the father and son workout playlist. I took my dad, 69-year-old dad, took him through a workout routine, and we did a 3-day per week total body workout, but each day we did different exercises. So day 1 focused primarily on compound movements. Day 2 focused primarily on isolation movements, and then in day 3 we kind of like filled in the gaps for certain movements that we didn't really target with those previous 2 workouts. So it's 3 total body workouts, but they're different workouts. So there's a lot of variety. You're not doing the same thing over and over again. That can get a bit monotonous, especially if you've been training for a while. Like it's great for starting off. Like I usually, if someone's never been to the gym before and they're starting off, I say, hey, here's a simple total body workout. Just do this, 3 days a week for the next month. After you get that, then we can reevaluate and change things up according to how your body's responding. But if you've been working out for years and you like variety, like and again, that's a personal preference. Some people like monotony. Like they like schedule and structure, I should say. Like some people do. They like to do the same thing day in, day out, and they just like that routine and that rhythm and doing it over and over again. And then it gives them, I guess, security and confidence in what they're doing. Other people, like myself, like variety. Like I like to change it up, right? So I mean, I like different exercise variations. I like pairing up different muscle groups together. I don't like doing the same thing day in, day out, week in, week out. I like to change it up. So that's my personality. That's my preference. I wouldn't be able to do the same workout day in, day out forever. Whereas my old man, I mean, he could, right? He would. Back when we were working out together, he had his routine that he would follow. And it was the same exercise, the same order, same sets, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's same thing, and he would do that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Like he would do the same thing over and over again, and he loved it. He liked that, just that routine. Like here's my workout, and I'm going to go through an exact order every single time, and whatever works. I mean, if the main thing is you're in there, you're training, you're consistent, and you're actually making progress. That's what matters at the end of the day. Right? All the details and the variables, like we can manipulate that stuff, but as long as you're consistent, consistency is the most important thing. All right. Actually, ironically, I was speaking about Dad. He just sent me a text message there on my phone. All right. I'll get back to him after the video chat. Maybe he's watching this. I don't know. He could be. If you are, hi, Dad. Where else we do? What's your email again? If you have any questions, reach out to me, leeh@leehayward.com. I'll post it in the video description of this when I post up the replay after, but leeh@leehayward.com. You can email me through that. Or you can contact me through Facebook as well. Like I'm very active on Facebook. That's probably where I'm the most active, like the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Facebook page and stuff like that. Like we've got a good community over on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, right, friend me up on Facebook. You can send me a private message through there. I'm more active on Facebook than I am on YouTube. And I know like different, it's kind of weird, like all these different social media platforms, because some people are like, oh, I love YouTube, but I hate Facebook. Or, right, I love Facebook, but I hate YouTube. Or like, I like Instagram, but I hate this other one, or whatever. Like it's weird how people have their different preferences. Like for me, Facebook is kind of like my hub, and I like it because you can post content and you can chat and interact back and forth. So I find it's a more user-friendly sort of way to communicate with somebody. YouTube is great for the videos, but there's no messaging feature. Like I can't message you through YouTube other than comments, right? So that's kind of a drawback, but you can get more of a mass appeal and tends to be, better quality video on YouTube because of that. But anyway, different platforms, different reasons. But if you want to reach out to me, email or Facebook, the 2 best options. And I think I might have skipped a couple of questions, so I'm just going to scroll back. Haas saying, I find low-carb red meat diet with greens and fruit and lemon water works well. Stay away from sugar and alcohol. Well, if it works well, keep going. I mean, I'm a big fan of, meat, like protein, veggies, and fruit. Absolutely. I mean, that's the foundation to any good diet, right? I mean, I don't purposely cut my carbs out because, again, I find that if I go too low in carbs, I don't have the same energy. I would rather eat more and burn more than eat less and not have enough energy to train hard, right? So I like that mentality, like eat more, burn more, right? That's the way I operate. What else we got? Josh Williams saying, love your content. Can you please give me some advice advice and or exercise recommendations for someone who has scoliosis? I've never really, obviously, I've never dealt with it myself. Like for the most part, you can still train normally, but there's certain exercises that may cause some problems. Like, I mean, a squat may cause some problems. An overhead press may cause some problems. Exercises where you're loading your spine may cause some problems. But a lot of, like machine exercises and things like that should not cause any problems. So that's where I would recommend. Like if you've never trained before and you're new to the gym, start off with machine exercises. And that 3 day per week workout that I just mentioned, the one that my father and son workout series, that would be a great one because there's nothing in there where we're loading the spine. Like there's no barbells on the back, right? There's no heavy deadlifts. There's nothing there that's going to cause strain to your spinal cord and things like that. So that would be a great workout to follow. And I mean, like you could literally use that as your training template to follow along with, right? But you can work around it. That's a big thing. You really have to work around it and listen to your body. I mean, anytime you have any injuries or mobility issues or special situations like yourself there, you just have to learn to listen to your body and work around it. Like improvement is always possible, but you have to respect your body and know your limitations as well. Like I wouldn't recommend, again, heavy squats for someone who has scoliosis because, it's just going to aggravate the back even more. But you can do other exercises, maybe like leg presses and leg extensions and leg curls and body weight squats and lunges and step ups and all this kind of cool stuff. I mean, there's lots of things you can do, right? Like you don't have to do exercises that cause pain and discomfort. That's a cool thing about it, right? There's no rules to this. There's really not. Like I know a lot of people try and make it out to seem like there's rules and you have to do this and you have to do that, but no, you don't, right? You can customize it to fit you, your situation, your needs, and you can make it work. All right, what else we got? 2K. Anthony is saying, I just want to say, you rock. Thank you. I've been watching your videos for a while. Love your no BS bodybuilding advice. Thank you for all your help. Well, I appreciate the comment. Thank you. It means a lot, right? When it like little things like that. I mean, it just lets me know that, hey, there's actually somebody out there in internet land who appreciates what I'm doing here, right? Because I'm just talking to a camera. I don't get any feedback and interaction. I try to talk to the camera as if you were sitting down in front of me. That's like when I do a video, that's my mindset. I'm like, okay, pretend the person is actually right there sitting down in front of you, like you're sitting down over a coffee and just having a chat. And how would I talk to you if you were right here in front of me? And that's the way I talk to my phone or my camera or whatever I'm using. So again, I appreciate the feedback. I mean, I'm glad you appreciate it. Hussam Zayn saying it's amazing that usually fitness media promoted bulking and cutting. I didn't find it healthy from the beginning. No, I'm not a huge fan of that. Definitely not. Do not bulk and cut. I mean, I'm not saying don't. Like, there's probably certain situations where bulking and cutting is applicable, but for the average person, like 80 to 90% of everyone watching this video who's just trying to lose fat, build muscle, get in shape, feel better, and improve their health, like you don't need to bulk and cut. You really don't. Right? Unless you're in some sports performance, like you need to gain weight for your sport or you need to cut weight for your sport or whatever. Like that's the only time when bulking and cutting is really applicable. But for the average person, you don't need to. Thoughts on volume versus high intensity training workouts? Again, it's just both work. I mean, I like to focus on both. I mean, meaning that you can focus on increasing volume to a certain extent, and you can focus on increasing intensity to a certain extent. But eventually, you're going to get to a threshold with the volume. Like, volume is not just going to increase, forever. Like, let's just say you start off doing 5 sets in a workout or whatever, or 5 sets per body part, something like that. I mean, you're not going to keep going until you're like, okay, 50 sets per body part or 100 sets per body part. Like volume has a limit, right? Of how much you can increase it. Intensity, well, it still has a limit as well because nobody can just keep growing forever. But like you can focus on increasing intensity more than you can in the volume. Once you get up to a certain stage of volume. You probably want to kind of keep it in that range, but you can always focus on training harder. You can always focus on lifting a little heavier, like adding an extra, an extra 5 pounds to the barbell, or trying to get an extra rep per set, and just these little tiny bits of progressive overload. Like you can always focus on that. But when it comes to the volume in terms of the sets and the reps and all that, or the sets, I should say, I mean, there is a limit. Like you're not just going to endlessly keep adding sets, because if it was, then you'd be working out for like 6 hours a day or something. So again, both are applicable and everything else, and you can still make gains within both. And what I very often do is I'll work within a range. So like I have one program that a lot of my coaching students have followed. It's a volume ramping program. So what we do is week 1, we do 3 sets per exercise. Week 2, we do 4 sets per exercise. Week 3, we do 5 sets per exercise. And then the following week, we drop it back down to 3 sets, but then we increase the weight. And then you build it back up, hit a peak, drop it back down, increase the weight, build it back up, hit a peak, drop it back down, increase the weight. So it's a volume ramp, right? So 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets, back down to 3. Increase the weight, repeat. So, I mean, you can work with it. There's lots of ways to go about cycling your volume and training. Like, that's the cool thing about this. There's so many ways to go about it. And I don't say this to try and confuse you or anything. I'm trying to let you know that you have so much variety available. And don't get caught up in thinking that there's only one way to do it, or this is better, or that's not better, or, this Joe Blow YouTuber says you have to do this, and then another Joe Blow YouTuber says you have to do that. Like, it all works. What works is you. Like, it's almost like, look at it if we were making money. We're looking at, our goal is to increase our bank account and make some moolah, right? One person might say, hey, I invest in the stock market. That's how I make my money. Another person says, hey, I invest in the real estate market. That's how I make my money. Someone else says, hey, I got my own business. That's how I make my money. Someone else is doing something else, working 9 to 5, and that's how he makes his money. Like, there's different ways to make money, and as long as you're making money, it all works. Like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? If you make your fortune in the stock market, or you make it in the real estate market, or you make it in your own business, who cares? As long as you make your fortune. Same thing with building your body, right? Whether you do it with this workout routine or that workout routine, as long as you're in better shape, you're leaner, you're stronger, you're healthier, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? How you get there, I mean, there's multiple ways to get there, as long as you get there, right? It's like looking at a map. Like, let's say we're on the East Coast and I want to get to the West Coast. There's a lot of different roads I could take, but as long as I get to my destination, that's all that really matters, right? I mean, yeah, some roads are probably faster, some roads are more scenic, right? There's pros and cons to each one. Some roads are safer, some roads are more dangerous. As long as you get to your destination at the end of the day, who cares, right? Same thing with building your body. As long as you get your results, who cares, right? That's the way I like to look at it. Eagle Eye says he uses a trap bar and he loves it. Luke is sending me a smiley face. Eagle Eye says he uses a York bench. I have a York bench here as well. What do you think about processed sliced turkey chicken meat as a source of protein? I actually do have some processed sliced chicken turkey in moderation. It's not my primary source, but I do have it from time to time because, one, it's tasty, it's convenient, I enjoy it. And it's like I buy it at Costco. Like, we can get it's one turkey we get. It's a Lily Dale sliced turkey. Now it's actual real turkey. It's not that processed turkey roll stuff. It's actually real turkey breasts pre-cooked and sliced. So that's the one I try and buy. But sometimes I will have like slices of ham or whatever, different types of processed meat. Now, I don't eat it a lot, but I do buy it and keep it on hand because, one, it's quick and convenient. It's super tasty. Like, sometimes I'll chop up some ham and put it in with eggs and scramble it up and have like an egg and ham omelet. I mean, I enjoy that. Sometimes I'll make a wrap or a sandwich, using some sliced meats, and I'll have that. Super quick and convenient, and it's tasty, and I enjoy it. But ideally, in the perfect world, right, is it better than real, natural, unprocessed foods? Your quote unquote, your grass-fed beef and your organic chicken and your this and that. No, obviously the more natural and less processed, the better. But I mean, I will have some processed food in there from time to time. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the look at the bigger picture, right? As long as you're like 80% on track, eating 80% clean, natural, healthy, organic stuff and whatever, you can have a little bit of the not so good stuff thrown in there from time to time. Like, okay, right, I'm going to break the bank and gosh darn it, I'm going to have me a ham sandwich. Look out, right? Lee's binging today, right? You're going to break out a slice of deli meat and have a ham sandwich. Why? Because I enjoy it, and it's yes, I'm still getting some protein and nutrients from it, but okay, I'm getting a bit of the sodium, the preservatives, and whatever else that goes into curing the ham. But I'll do it from time to time. But again, it's not like I eat it every day, but I will have it on hand. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't know. I just really rambled on with that one, but yeah, there's protein in those processed meats, right? Enjoy in moderation, but don't make it like your daily staple go-to. Like I wouldn't recommend saying, hey, I need to eat 200 grams of protein a day, so I'm going to try to get 200 grams from deli meat. Like, no, that's overkill. All right. Eagle Eye just added me as a friend on Facebook. All right. I will accept your friend request when I go in and check my Facebook. I don't know if your name on Facebook is Eagle Eye John. So send me, you can actually send me a private message too to let me actually know who you are, because sometimes I get weird friend requests and I may or may not accept them depending if I don't know who this person is. But you can say, hey, I was watching your YouTube video and you recommended that I friend you on Facebook. So here I am. I'm Eagle Eye John from YouTube. Right? Do that so that I actually know who you are and I'll accept your friend request. Mike is joining in. He says, I haven't been able to train for a month. Been coming off some meds that have kicked my ass. I'm terrified I'm losing gains. Well, you probably are if you haven't trained in a month, because it is true. If you don't lose it, or if you don't use it, you lose it. But the cool thing is when you get back to a regular routine again, it's easier to regain muscle the second time around than it is to gain it the first time. There is such a thing as muscle memory. That is legit. That works. It's frustrating. The hardest part of a workout is starting, or in your case, starting again. It's always frustrating. And for that first month back to the gym, you're going to have to purposely take it easy. Like when you do start training again, don't think that you're just going to pick up where you left off. Like I just throw some numbers. Let's say you were bench pressing 225 when you stopped working out a month ago and you haven't trained in a month. Don't go into the gym expect to lift 225 on the bench press. No, like start off light. Like take baby weights, warm up weights. Like even cut your weights in half, right? And just start off small and build yourself back up. But you will find the second time around, you will build up so much faster and you will regain your muscle and strength. And within a month of consistent training, you should be back to where you were and then on track to making some new personal bests in your gym. But it's always frustrating when you have to come back after a layoff and you're going through the motions and you're like, I used to be able to lift so much more than this, or I used to feel so much stronger or bigger or more muscular, and now I feel like crap going through it. Like, just suck it up and go through it. Like, really, don't overthink it. Just go through the motions. Your first month back to the gym, whether your first month is brand new to the gym or your first month is coming back after a layoff, just go through the motions. Don't overthink it. Just have a simple, easy routine, go through the motions, and then after that, just focus on making some progress. Like, don't overthink it. That's one of the biggest mistakes, because a lot of times if people overthink it, then they get the paralysis by analysis and they don't do anything, right? Don't overthink it. Just get your ass in the gym. I was actually talking to one of my coaching students today. He works out at the same gym that I do. He's Jeff. And if Jeff, you're watching this video, hey Jeff. But Jeff was up at Platinum Health and Fitness today, and I was chatting to him. And we were talking about it, and I said, you know what? The hardest part of the gym, like the hardest exercise you'll ever do in the gym is walking in that front door. Like as soon as you're in the door, it's like coasting downhill from there. That is the hardest part, just to show up. It literally is. Especially if you're busy, like you're a middle-aged guy, you got family, you got work, you got responsibilities, you got things pulling at your time. The hardest part is just to show up to the gym. Once you're there and you're in the door, like you're halfway done. Like that's 51% right there. The rest is like coasting downhill. The hardest part is just get your ass in the gym. Once you're in there, the rest is easy. It really is. So make it a habit of just getting your ass in the gym, and don't overthink that. Like have a smooth, efficient way to streamline the process from couch to the gym, right? If you can get off the couch and get into the gym, you're on the right track. What else? I'm going to get ready to close this up, guys, because we're about to approach the 1 hour mark very shortly, and 1 hour is enough for me flapping my gab. But let's see what else we got. Mike is saying, I'm worried about endurance, strength, muscle loss due to not training. I think I already answered that question. Yeah, I did. Okay, that was just elaborating that one more. Okay. I can't even pronounce that one. Zathrilla. Any advice for getting cheated on them broken up after what? Any advice for getting cheated on them broken up with after a year? LOL, would love your opinion or experience. I don't know what you're asking, so I'm going to just move on. Eagle Eye saying thanks for the help. You're welcome. Holly is saying love your video. How do we bulk uncut effectively so we don't go back looking the same after cut? If your goal, I kind of already addressed this one. You probably posted it after I actually answered the question, but don't bulk, don't cut. Improve your body composition. Recomposition is what you want to think. So maintenance calories or close to it. Like if you want to lose weight, you just have a slight deficit, not a big one, a slight deficit, maybe 10%. Like cut your calories 10% below maintenance and focus on building lean muscle and losing body fat. That's what you want to focus on. And if you're on the skinny fat side and you want to fill out your frame, well, maybe increase your calories by 10%, but still stay close to that maintenance range. Like don't have these crazy calories fluctuations where someone says, oh, well, I want to bulk up, so I'm going to start eating, 1,000 or 2,000 calorie surplus a day, and then end up just becoming a fat pig. Or someone say, hey, I want to drastically cut my calories, and they have this 1,000+ calorie deficit a day, and now they're starving. Like, no, have small, like literally start with 10%, either a 10% surplus, 10% deficit, and just make better food choices and like be consistent with your training, consistent with your cardio, consistent with your sleep. Like all these other things come into play, right? It's not this all or nothing extreme approach. Like just have a balanced approach. And the cool thing about this is you don't need to focus on this extreme approach. Like you just need to be good enough, but good enough consistently. And this is what I teach my coaching students, like good enough, but good enough consistently. And when you have that mindset, it takes the stress out of it. It really does. Because if I tell you have to be perfect, that you have to be 100% perfect with your workouts and 100% perfect with your diets, and you're not allowed to have a cheat, and you're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that, and blah, 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 blah. And I give you all these rules, and I make it so complicated and so overwhelming and so strict, you're going to hate the process. And if you hate the process, how long are you going to stick with it? Not very long, right? It's just as long as your willpower lasts, and as soon as the willpower runs out, guess what? You say, screw this, right? I'm ordering a pizza, I'm watching Netflix, and I'm getting a case of beer, and the hell with this workout shit. Like, that's what happens. But if you have a more relaxed approach, a more realistic lifestyle approach, where it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be this all or nothing extreme kill yourself approach, but it's just good enough, but good enough consistently, where you're making little bits of progress on a daily basis, you can sustain that, and you can enjoy the process. And that's what it's all about. Right? Like I've been making slow, steady progress for the past couple of years, and I enjoy it. I don't feel like I'm on a diet. And how cool is that? To be able to get lean, stay lean, and not feel like you're on a diet. Boom. That's what it's all about. Anyway, guys, I know there's still some more questions coming through, and I do appreciate and respect, the questions and the comments and the support. Like getting a lot of positive feedback here today, which is, making me feel all chuffed and good here. But I appreciate it. But I'm going to get ready and clue it up because it's getting late and I want to spend some time with my family before my son goes to bed. So hopefully you enjoyed the video chat. If you did, give it a thumbs up, right? I appreciate those thumbs ups and the likes and all that good stuff. And if you have any comments or questions, whatever, post them down below when I have the video replay up. And if you want some help, if you would actually like to chat with me personally, email me. Or friend me up on Facebook, and we can actually chat. So again, look me up. I'm Lee Hayward on Facebook. I mean, you'll see me. I'm doing a front double bicep pose there. That's my profile picture. And my personal email address, if you don't have Facebook, you can email me there. It's leeh@leehayward.com. And we can have a chat through email. All right. So in the meantime, have yourself a great one. Have yourself a great weekend. And I will be talking to you next week. So I'm getting back on routine again, right? This is hopefully going to be a regular routine again. So next Friday, doing another live Q&A. All right. Have yourself a good one. Over and out.